Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I have something a little bit different for you guys. I wanted to give you a taste of what it's like to learn a routine completely from scratch on my app, Fancy Feet. So I'm going to teach one of the routines that you can find on my app that I've performed before on my socials. It's my blinding lights routine, and I'm going to take you through every single skill that you need, any combos you need, and then I'm going to teach you the routine. The idea of this video is not to necessarily follow it all in one session. In fact, if you really are starting from scratch, you'll find that pretty difficult. The idea is to just go through this video, getting each and every single step down, taking your time on each step, and then getting to the finish line, getting the routine down in your own time. This may take you a couple of days, this may take you a week, this may take you a month. The idea is to follow this in your own time, use it as a challenge and a way to improve your general jump rope skills and also your ability to learn a routine. So yeah, let's get into it. Okay, so let's break down all of the skills that you'll find in this routine. First footwork skill you should ever learn is the run in place. So you're switching legs on each jump. Just like that. So you want to make sure you've got your run in place down. A tip with the run in place, I find, is rather than thinking on landing onto one foot, think about just lifting one foot at a time. So that might make it a little bit easier for you. So you just think you've got your basic bounce, and then just think of lifting one foot at a time, and you can actually practice hopping on one foot at a time and then gradually reducing the hops until you're doing them consecutively. For all of these skills, I'm going to give you as many tips as I can, but if you want an even more detailed breakdown, check these out on my app, Fancy Feet. The next footwork skill you're going to want to learn is the knee crossover. This is when you do this. You obviously want to make sure you're comfortable with the run in place, but then make sure that you can do it with high knees, because this skill looks much better if you have a high knee rather than just putting your foot sort of behind you and not lifting your knee. So the first step is a high knee, so I'm doing this on my right leg first, and then on the next jump you're going to tap your right foot slightly in front of you to the side. So your right leg is going across your left leg. And then you're going to go back into the high knee position and then feet together. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And you want to make sure you can do that on both feet. If you haven't learned it already, I recommend you learn the boxer step, where it's all about transferring your weight from side to side, because that's going to really help you with the toe tap element. What people tend to find when they learn to jump rope is they're fine with the basic bounce, and then they learn to alternate their feet. But when it comes to tapping skills, where you're just sort of tapping a foot out to the side, it can be quite difficult to do that without having your weight on both feet distributed evenly. When you do that toe tap across, you actually want to keep your weight on the foot behind. So the foot that's going in front, that's just a tap, and your weight stays on that back one. So it might be quite difficult if you haven't learned something like the boxer step. I recommend you learn that before you attempt the knee crossover. Your third footwork skill in this routine is side steps. Really fun one. So you're simply going out to one side and tapping your left foot. So if you're going to your right, so your body goes to the right and you put most of your weight on your right foot, and you tap your left foot to the side away from you. So you're always tapping your heel away from you, back to the center, and then to the other side and tap your right foot out to the side there. Now I think with these sort of skills, people often feel like, how do you get the rope around it without it hitting your feet? Well, you've just got to remember that your feet should be on the floor in that position when the rope is over your head. It's during the transition between each step that your rope is underneath you. So you'll never be in this position when the rope is down. So bear that in mind. So just like that. So that's the 3 footwork skills in the routine. The rest of the skills are tricks. So we're going to go through those now as well. Okay, so first off we have the crossover. Now with the crossover, you want to make sure that you're crossing nice and low so that you're not lifting your rope off the ground. We don't actually want this, it's quite a common mistake, but if you look where my rope is now, you'll see how difficult that would be to jump it. Make sure you hit the ground with the rope, like actually think about it and listen for it. That's going to help you ensure that you're bringing your hands down far enough. So we're scooping into this position. You start when the rope is coming over your head, then you go into that position, and you can actually practice this into a toe catch, like I just did there. It's quite a good way to practice the entrance position. Now on exit, we're going to uncross, so we're coming out of the crossover and bringing our hands back down to our sides. We don't want to be coming out over here. That's, again, shorten the rope. We want to be coming out and down. Think about bringing your hands down to the ground, down to your hips, and that will give you a beautiful crossover and a nice and easy one to jump. When you're learning the crossover, for this routine, we do have a switch cross in it. So you need to make sure you can do the crossover with each hand on top. So we're practicing that way and that way. Make sure you get the crossover down on both sides. Now our next skill is the switch cross, and you'll see why it's so important to have the crossover on both sides when you see this skill, because we're actually doing a switch. We're doing a crossover with one hand on top, and then we're switching the hand on top for the next jump, and it's consecutive. So we're not doing cross, open. I mean, we are for some of the routine. For the part where the switch crosses, it's 2 crosses in a row, so like doing that, but you're actually switching the hands on top. So it happens quite fast, and it's one you really need to practice. It is quite a tricky bit, so if you don't manage to get this, you can obviously still perform the routine without it, just carry on doing the crosses, but I'll get to that in a bit. I just don't want you to panic if you can't get this now. You can still get this routine down without a switch cross. So we're doing cross, switch, and into that. So with this one, I find a really helpful tip to get it down is to envisage that you need to have your hands facing each other like this when the rope is directly in front of you there. That's going to ensure that you've got the time to get the rope, the handle over for the crossover. So as the rope is just in front of you there, you want to make sure your palms are facing each other. That's because you've brought them apart and then you've got the time to go under again. So you need to have brought them apart by the time the rope is in front of you there, and then the switching to go under you. Like that. So tricky one indeed. Obviously, as I said, if you need more tips for this and a more detailed tutorial, check this one out on my app. Okay, so for the next trick, we have the 360 turn with the 180 Texan. So a 360 turn is the full turn, but the 180 is the element from the back, like that. There is a Texan in this, but we're going to learn the 360 first, and then I'll teach you the Texan part. So to do a turn, it starts with an open. Now, a lot of people get this wrong. A lot of people think the turn starts on the swing, but actually, you want to be turning your body on the open, or the last skill before you go into it. Your body turns one jump before you go into the swing. Then you swing as you jump to the back, then you do a backwards jump and face the other side, and then as the rope is going over your head, you jump it forwards. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you don't do a turn on that open, if you leave it until the swing, you end up going 1, 2, and then you'll really struggle to get round on that last bit. And what actually happens is people often do a little double bounce there because it's unnatural for them to jump a full 180 in one jump. What is most comfortable, I mean, you can do it, especially with double unders, but for single skills, it's most comfortable to do any turns a quarter turn at a time. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's the 360 turn. You want to get that one down before you learn the 180 Texan turn, which we're going to do next. Okay, so there's 2 ways that you can add a Texan turn into a 360. You can either do that backwards jump and then just do a Texan like that to face the front, or you can go straight into it from the swing, which is what we're actually going to do in this routine. So to start with, because it's slightly easier, I recommend getting to the back, and then when the rope is behind you there, you want to do your Texan. Now you can do a Texan with your hands behind you, so you kind of let the rope go behind you like that, but I find it quite nice and stylistic to do it with it over my shoulders like that. So, like that. You can actually isolate this by just going from the backwards jump, like that, and to the front. Practice that on its own, so isolate the Texan turn, like that. Now to do it in the way I do it on the routine, you're going to do it straight after the turn to the side. So there's a jump, and then you're going to go straight into it. So it's 1, 2, 3, and you jump to the front on 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So it happens quite quick, but it's really flowy. So that is your Texan turn. Again, there's an even more detailed tutorial for this on my app. Make sure you check it out if you're still struggling with that one. And that is everything. That is all of the skills that feature in the app. Now, to help you even further, there's also a combo you can practice from this, which is combining the crosses with the run in place. So with the running crosses, I'd recommend practicing that separately. So you just want to practice running on a cross and running onto your other leg on the open, and it just continues like that. So I'm doing it right, left. So I'm running onto my right foot on the cross, left on the open, right on the cross, left on the open. You want to practice on both sides ideally, but in this routine, I do the right leg on the crossover. That's one to practice as well. And if you have learnt the switch cross, you want to practice doing that as well. So 1, 2, switch cross, 1, 2, switch cross. Practice it like that. All of these skills and combos, make sure you're really confident doing them. You're going to really struggle to learn the routine if you haven't got all of those down. So get them down, practice them. As I said, it might take you a few weeks, it might take you a month. Set a goal for this routine that's realistic and chip away at all those little pieces. And then when you're ready, come back to this video and we can learn the routine together. Okay, so for step 1 of this routine, I think you're going to find this nice and easy as long as you've got your run in place down and your crossovers together. So we've been through this, so you should only be going through this if you're confident with them. We're starting on our right leg and we're going to do 4 runs. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And that sort of goes with the build up in the music. And then we're going to do our running crossovers when there's that sort of beat drop and familiar blinding lights music. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to go into your running crosses for 6 counts. So we're going to do 3 crossovers in total. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're going to end in this position here. So it seems like a bit of a strange place to end, bearing in mind what's coming next with the switch cross, but it makes sense to learn the switch cross going into the next part. So I've sort of split it this way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So get that bit down and then come back for part 2. Okay, so for part 2, we're coming out of our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we're going to do 2 more run in place. So right, left. But this time we're going to do switch cross. So 1, 2, like that. If you can't do the switch cross, just carry on with a 4th crossover into an open. From the previous part, you're going cross, open, switch cross, like that. And then out of that, you're going to go into your Texan turn. You're going to prepare for that, because I said, remember, you want to always go into a turn already being ready and having turned a quarter turn already. So like that. So add the switch cross to your running crosses and make sure when you come out of your switch cross, you go into an open where you turn to the left slightly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1. So from this position, we're going to go into our Texan turn. So like that, and then a basic bounce facing forwards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to do our side steps. So we're going to go right and then we're going to go left. So 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're gradually adding to this, we're building on it. You want to make sure you're getting confident with the routine up to where you get to each time before you add on some more. That is your part 2. So now we want to add it all together. Don't forget you've got those 4 runs without crosses at the start. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm out of breath now. So yeah, get that down and then come back and we will do the final part. Okay, so for the final part, we're facing the front and we've just done a basic bounce. You're gonna do your knee crossovers. So you're literally just doing one on the right, one on the left, and then we're gonna finish by throwing our rope between our legs. So this part is nice and easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, bam, and you're done. Practice that again. Hopefully you're familiar with the knee crossovers because we learned them at the start of this video. Let's bring it all together from the start. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we end there. Now when you see that with the music, you see how it goes. Bear in mind the track might be a bit fast for you at the start. I recommend working on it without the music, but then finding a song that's slightly slower than Blinding Lights, working on that, and then increasing the speed gradually until you can get it with the actual song. As I said, this can be a work in progress. Lots of people, when they join Fancy Feats, they start with a goal. They want to learn one of my routines. And the great thing about the app is there's a skill map that you can follow, and it just breaks down all the skills. So when you open a routine that you want to learn, it will tell you you're not ready to learn this yet because you've got to learn these skills first. And then you can simply just go in and chip away at them. And then when you're ready, obviously the routine will unlock, and then you can learn it in a similar way to how I've done this video. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you want to see a couple more of these. I will make it a regular thing if you enjoyed it, so give this a thumbs up and let me know in the comments what you thought. If you're a total beginner and you don't even have a rope yet or anything like that, I'll put a link in the description to my free quick start guide. It will just get you off to a really good start, and then you can sort of work through this video or some of my other videos on this channel to help you get started. I will see you in my next video. That's a wrap, innit?